Hello, good day everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is Engineer Reagan. Today, please join me for another episode of math lesson. Okay, so today I'm gonna show you how to solve for a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. Okay, so let's get straight to the example. So as you can see, our first example is 3x squared minus 2x is equals to 3. Now, solving quadratic equation by using quadratic formula is pretty much easy. Why? Because all you need to do is you just have to substitute the values to the formula, and then that's it. You will already be able to solve for the values of your variable. But then but the thing is, you need first to transform your entire equation into its standard form. Okay, this is something that you really need to understand. You have to transform the given equation or conform the given equation to the standard form of the quadratic equation. How it looks, this is the standard form, okay? It looks like this: a x squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. So meaning you need first to make sure that your equation is already conformed to this form, okay? Otherwise, you will be substituting wrong values to the quadratic formula and you will end up with the wrong answer. Okay, so you need to understand A here is actually the coefficient of the variable with that is raised to the power of 2. In this case, it's x. So the A is the coefficient of the x squared. B is the coefficient of our second term. Okay, bx, the one that doesn't have any exponent. Then lastly, the constant, the pure constant. Okay, that's your C. Okay, so that's actually all the things that you need to really spot on the given equation, and then after that you just substitute it here to the given formula. Okay, so in our example, you have 3x squared minus 2x equals to 3. That one is not yet conformed to its standard form. So we need to transform it first. So the equation becomes 3x squared minus 2x, and then you transpose the 3. Okay, you transpose it from the right side to the left side. And since it's positive 3, when you transpose it, it becomes negative. So that becomes minus 3 is equals to 0. Question, have we already conformed our equation to the standard form? Yes, definitely. So the next thing to do now is to identify the values. So what is our A? A, as I've said, that is the coefficient of the variable that is raised to the power of 2, or the coefficient of the x squared. In this case, the coefficient is 3. Okay. What's our B? B is the coefficient of the x, which is minus 2 or negative 2. And then C, lastly, is what? Minus 3 or negative 3. Okay. Easy, right? So after that, all we need to do is just substitute it to the given formula. Okay, so substitute it. You have negative b, meaning negative, then negative 2, plus or minus square root of b squared. So you have negative 2 squared minus 4. What's our a? 3. What's our c? It's negative 3. All right. And then all over what? 2 times 3. Okay. The next thing to do is evaluate. So you have a negative here, and then another negative value of the 2 that becomes positive now, plus or minus square root of negative 2 raised to the power of 2, that becomes 4, minus 4 times 3, that's 12, times negative 3, that becomes negative 36. So 4 minus negative 36. All over 6. And then that becomes 2 plus or minus 4 minus 36, that becomes plus, right? So it becomes 40 all over 6. All right? So the values now for your x is x is equals to 2 plus square root of 40 over 6 and 2 minus square root of 40 over 6. Okay, so that's our answer. Actually, we can still simplify this further. Actually, this is not the final answer yet, but since we have not yet reached to the topic, so I might just have to leave it as it is. Okay, but later on, I will teach you how to simplify it further. But for now, let's just leave it as it is. Okay, because anyway, we are what the topic we're talking about is solving the quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula. Okay, now let's move on to our second example. Okay, that's our second example. Again, as I've told you, transform your quadratic equation into its standard form. So from our example, that's 2x squared minus 4x minus 2 is equals to minus 2x. So we need to transpose the minus 2x from the right side to the left side. So this becomes 2x squared minus 4x plus 2x minus 2 is equals to 0. And then 2x squared, negative 4x plus 2x, that is minus 2x, minus 2 is equals to 0. Okay? And right after that, again, we need to evaluate or identify the particular values. Okay, our A is what? 2. Our B is negative 2. Our C is negative. Okay? What's the next thing to do? All we need to do now is just substitute all these values to the existing formula. So x is equals to negative b, so that becomes again negative minus b, which is 2 actually, plus or minus square root of negative 2 square. Sorry, let's make that 2 bigger here. Okay, and then minus 4. Our a is 2 again, and then c is negative 2. All over 2 times a is 2. So x is equals to negative and negative 2, that becomes positive, plus or minus square root of negative 2 squared, that becomes 4 once again, minus 4 times 2 times negative 2, that's what? Negative 16, right? So you have 16 here. And then again, you have 2 times 2, that's 4. So x now becomes 2 plus or minus square root of 20 all over 4. So you have two values. You have plus and minus. Why? Because every time you get the square root of something, you always need to consider the positive and negative sign. So the values of your x are 2 plus square root of 20 all over 4, and x is equals to 2 minus square root of 20 all over 4. Those are the values of your x. Okay, once again, as I've told you, we can still simplify this further, but I don't want to go that far because we've not reached the topic yet. So for now, let's leave it as it is. Okay, lastly, let's move on to our third example. Okay, this may seem a little harder, but actually no, it's not. All you need to do actually is just transform your equation to conform to the standard form. So what do you need to do is you just substitute this. I mean distribute. Okay, apply distributive property. So you have 2x parenthesis x minus 1 plus 3. That becomes now, let's distribute that. That becomes 2x squared minus 2x plus 3 is equals to 0. So see, you only did one step and then automatically you already have transformed your entire equation into its standard form. So now I just identify the values. You have your a is 2, your b is negative 2 again, then your c is positive 3. All right. So again, substitute that one to the existing formula. Negative of negative 2 plus and minus. Your b squared is negative 2, square that one, minus 4. And then a is 2, and then your c is positive 3. all over 2 and 2. Right? So evaluate. Negative of negative 2, that becomes positive 2, plus or minus square root of. Okay. Negative 2 squared, that becomes positive 4, minus 4 times 2, 8 times 3, that's 24. So 4 times minus 24 all over 4. So your x now becomes 2 plus or minus 4 minus 24, you have negative 20 all over 4. Okay, now you need to understand that you cannot have a negative radicand talking about square root because there's no perfect square root for a negative answer. So I may just have to touch this a little, okay? Although we're not there yet, but let's just say this becomes negative 20, that becomes 20i, meaning this number is an imaginary number. This is not real number. Because as I've said, talking about square root, you cannot have a negative radicand. Radicand meaning the number inside that square root. So that's why you have to put an I there. I don't want to go any further. Let's just leave it as it is, but just understand that if you have a negative radicand, that's an imaginary. So you put I all over 4. So to solve for x, you will have 2 plus square root of 20 I over 4 and 2 plus square root of 20 I. I'm sorry, this is not my plus, that's minus. That's minus all over 4. So those are your two values of x. Okay, so that's all. That's how easy solving the quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula. And once again, I hope that I was able to make it easy and clear for you. But anyway, if there's something or there's anything that you still want me to expound about, meaning if you really want to know how to simplify it further, then let me know. Please drop your comments below and I'll be more than happy to oblige with your request. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much, guys. God bless. This is Engineer Reagan. Bye.